Let's take a break. Coffee break tayo. Mura ng cafecito.
Welcome. I'm glad you're able to join me on another coffee break. Grab yourself a hot cup of coffee, have a seat, and today's topic is 5 mistaken beliefs about asking for help. So let's do this. Forget what you've been told. Seeking assistance is actually a sign of a great leader. But before we get started, it's important that um, if you're going to take notes, feel free to take notes. Or just save this or take a look at it later so that you don't forget any of the points. So in starting off, I want you to think about a quote from John Wooden, and it goes like this: "We're all imperfect and we all have needs. The weak usually do not ask for help, so they stay weak. If we recognize that we are imperfect, we will ask for help and we will pray for the guidance necessary to bring positive results to whatever we are doing." Very powerful. And I think for all of us, asking for help wasn't something that our parents instilled in us. And it's not how we interpreted their guidance. It's really, I think, the opposite, because when they told us repeatedly to be confident, to be strong, to be independent, I think we were assuming that the opposite traits would be something bad, something detrimental, right? So instead of, for many of us, instead of asking for support or help, we always try to do everything ourselves. We do whatever it takes to get the job done on our own. And in the end, we feel a sense of accomplishment for achieving the field that was deemed impossible. However, we truly never do anything on our own, and as leaders, we shouldn't want to. Use and trust your volunteers, your workforce, your colleagues to help you. Not only because it makes things easier, but because it's. I think the fact is that you're in the work that you're in because you're building community, you're building relationships, and it's understandable that we all look for, whether it's solitude or we come up with a mantra that if you want it done right, you do it yourself. Well, I think you need to send the right message to whomever you're working with, that it takes a team. And yes, there are people who love to do things alone, but there are things that we should be doing alone and things that we shouldn't be doing alone. I think things that you can do alone are things like hiking, traveling, reading, all the things for our mental health. However, as a human being, and it's really natural for us to be able to share our experiences so that people after us, and especially our youth, are better at what they do because of our shared experiences. So it's important that we do work with others and ask for help when we need it, so that we come better and better, from what we do. Even if you're traveling or reading a book, we always want to share what we've read. We always want to share what we saw. So it's important to share information and ask for help when you need it. And I think that asking for help or looking for support, and being honest about it is probably one of the hardest life skills to practice. But it's definitely something that can make you a better human being and a very strong leader, because it's not that you're showing weakness to your fellow coworkers or your fellow staff or whomever. You're really showing strength in acknowledging and accepting. We talk a lot about responsibility and accountability in leadership, and this is one of those things that really demonstrates that. And so, we understand that the act of asking for help openly is probably one of the hardest life skills to practice, yet is one of those skills that make you a better human being and a stronger leader. So let's look at why people often find it difficult to ask and receive support or help in their daily lives, whether it's at work, at home, at school, and sometimes even, socially. So there are five major assumptions that we make about asking for help. The first, and I think the toughest and biggest assumption is that it's a sign of weakness, and that if you can't do it on your own, you must not know how to do it, or you don't have the skills or resources to do it. Again, that's the biggest assumption that's made about asking for help. The second assumption, I think, would be that allowing someone else to help you means that you lose control of the situation, that you no longer have control over the project. Um, and again, that's just an assumption. Just because you ask for help or you ask for support doesn't mean you have to give the project or the activity away. It just simply means that you're asking for help, right? Assumption number three is that if we accept the support, accept the help, then that you have to reciprocate, that you owe somebody a favor, right? And that you have to return the favor. And some people will, well, what if I don't want to return the favor, right? There's hard feelings between coworkers, between friends. So that, that's truly an assumption that I think we make in our own minds, is that if I accept help now, I'm going to have to help somebody else. That's really not the case. A lot of times, people want to help you because they want to help you, because they know that they're part of your team, so they want to help you. So I think make sure that you flip that on its head as well. The fourth assumption, I think, is that if you ask for help from others, that you're being a burden, right? That you're being, you're adding something to their plate that they already have a full plate. You don't want to be that burden, because they're just as busy as you, and so where are they going to find, or how are they going to find the time to help you, right? So again, that's an assumption. And I think to round it off, assumption number five is to assume that you're the only person that can do it, and that it's easier and quicker for you to do it, rather than to train someone or teach someone to help you, right? So I think that's looking inward. I think that's one of the biggest assumptions we make sometimes, is that, well, I'll do it myself if I want the job done right. So these are all very, very strong assumptions about why we find it difficult to ask for help. But I think it's important to understand that, again, having the ability and the wherewithal to be able to ask for help actually makes you a stronger leader, and an opportunity for you to become a more effective leader. So understand that leaders who are aware, who are conscious, and continually looking for opportunities to grow personally and professionally, are the ones who will courageously ask for help openly and receive that support openly. So it's important to understand that, and here's why. And that's because that when you ask for help, you maintain focus and energy on the task, on the activity, on the project, right? That you're sharing with other people. Right? You're able to reiterate, you're able to repeat, you're able to practice what it is that you're trying to do. So you create more flow when it comes to getting to your end result, right? Because you're making it more fun, you're making it easier for yourself. It's not cheating, you're making it easier, but you're utilizing the strengths with and from your team. When you ask for support, you're creating opportunities for other people to share their experiences, to share their talents with you and with the organization. You're empowering others to shine, right? It doesn't mean you're not getting credit for it, but you're allowing others to shine, and you learn more about other people's strengths and passions along the way as well. When you ask for support and when you ask for help, you allow others to experience the happiness that comes from achievement, the happiness that comes from giving, Like when you give or receive a gift, right? It's that look that you're looking for, like, oh, they really enjoyed it. So I think when you share that experience with other people, I think it really releases some, the chemical hormone or whatever it is in you, um, that creates a stronger bond between you and your coworkers, and building that team that you're working so hard to build, and being able to ask for help is one of those things that helps to build that. And when you're asking for support, when you're asking for help, you're trusting others, right? It really is demonstrating that you are trusting in them, and you're trusting in their skills, that they will be able to help you fulfill your goal, your outcomes, that in itself will help to strengthen the bond with your coworkers, but also demonstrate to your supporters that you're a team that works very well. And I think when you ask for support, when you ask for help, you're letting people to know that you're not perfect, just like everyone else, and I think you're going to be more relatable if you're a supervisor, if you're the boss, if you're the program lead, if you're the program manager, program director, whatever. And that's the message you're sending, is that you're just like them. You're not perfect, but you become more relatable, right? Because you're a person of opportunity, and we all have room to grow. And I think remember, none of us is perfect. No matter how many times you say it, you're not perfect. None of us are. So I think in closing this out, I think there's a strength in being vulnerable, because it's being human. We were designed to co-create life by changing and exchanging experiences together on this big rolling rock that we're all on. So think about who you can ask for support today, and give the gift of giving, right? You're giving them the satisfaction of learning what it is to feel fulfilled about helping others, and also the gift of allowing them to feel the same satisfaction that you get from completing a project and getting a pat on the shoulder. So I think that would be it for today's coffee break. A very quick one, but make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video. Get back to work or whatever it is that you are doing.